Hello, I'm Robert Reich, professor of public policy at the University of California, Berkeley. Welcome to the first Nordic Talks at Berkeley. Today's talk focuses on parental leave in the Nordic countries and what inspiration we may draw in the United States and here in California. I'm proud to have served as the Labor Secretary for United States President Bill Clinton when the Family and Medical Leave Act of 1993 was passed. As Labor Secretary, I was responsible for its implementation. This was a vitally important piece of policy because it guaranteed parents could take up to 12 weeks of family leave to care for a new child without fear of losing their jobs. But the family and medical leave time doesn't come with pay, which is why less than half of eligible workers can afford to use it. And it doesn't cover companies or franchisees with fewer than 50 employees. The United States is behind almost all other advanced nations that typically provide 3 or 4 months of paid leave to fathers as well as mothers. The Nordic countries are truly global leaders, offering the most generous paid parental leave on the planet. This past summer, I spent time in Sweden and traveled around talking with people. One thing that was so apparent to me was that the average person in Sweden seemed so much less stressed than the average person here in the United States. I can't help but think that worrying about how to pay for things like parental leave and the associated challenges of finding affordable and good childcare are part of the reason why. In the United States, we leave all of these parental and childcare issues to the market. If you're fortunate enough to work for a company that provides parental leave and are deemed eligible, as this perk is often reserved for the most in-demand talent, then lucky you, you get a paid parental leave. But for the majority of working parents in America, you don't. This market-based approach to paid parental leave exasperates and intensifies inequalities. It punishes the working poor, and it disproportionately hurts mothers. Sure, it's possible for women to lean in, as Sheryl Sandberg puts it, provided you have enough financial resources for 24-hour childcare, car service for the kids, and nannies, and all the extra help needed. Again, we leave the issue of paid parental leave to the markets. The American economist Arthur Okun famously said that in a capitalist society, the market needs a place, and the market needs to be kept in its place. The Nordics are capitalistic societies that have pragmatically figured out over the course of the past century where markets work well and where they don't. Paid parental leave does not belong in the domain of the markets. The Nordics learned this, and it's time for those of us in the United States to learn this also. I'm increasingly of the belief that there are a number of other things the United States may prosperously learn from the Nordic experiences. Now, I trust that my Berkeley colleague Robert Strand will share more with you today about our ambitions to establish a Nordic platform here at the University of California, Berkeley to continue these sorts of explorations. Robert is the right guy for the job, too. If you haven't noticed, his email address is literally Mr. Nordic at Berkeley. I think ongoing considerations of the Nordics here at Berkeley are merited and can provide us with hope about what American society could be, not by adopting Nordic socialism, as critics may carelessly throw out there, but by embracing the values and policies that have enabled Nordic citizens to enjoy more freedom and equality than in present-day America. Paid parental leave is one such example where we can draw inspiration from the Nordics. I thank you all for taking part in this Nordic Talks at Berkeley, and now I turn it back over to Mr. Nordic.